Hey everyone, it's Mike from Voluntary Virtues. Hope you guys are having a great day. I'm joined once again with James Cox, Dana Rothschild, and Mike Dana. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing great.
I'm
Awesome.
doing well.
Awesome. Today we want to talk about why it's necessary to understand human behavior before you can actually have an educated, if you even want to call it educated, political philosophy outlook, but more, I think, generally just a philosophical outlook in general. Who wants to go first?
Me, I'll go first. I think behavior is important because obviously by one's actions somebody can understand what type of character somebody is. And obviously if you've got somebody that is beating the living shit out of people just to get his own way or her own way in life, then obviously that's not a person really that you want in your life. If you've got somebody that thinks it's okay to go around and take stuff from somebody and to because they don't want to do something and they think they can do this by using coercion and things, then obviously that's not a good behavior. And I can obviously give lots of different traits, different kinds of behavior. If it's not voluntary, if it's not mutual, if it's not consensual, and this person is just doing shit because they think that they have a right to do so, which nobody does in my book, then this is a bad behavior, and I think first of all it should be pointed out to that person and pointed out to others.
All right. Well, here, let me respond real quick. My main thing with human behavior is that people forget that individuals are always looking to maximize their marginal utility in general, right? So they're going to find something that usually makes them happier. If maybe finding a job in the short term isn't really happy, right? You'd rather have more entertainment or recreation time than work and production time. But down the road, you'll be able to have a retirement and have kids in school and all the rest of that great stuff. That healthy teeth because you were able to go to the dentist and all this other stuff, right? So I think it's really important to realize that people naturally have an incentive to better themselves, and that their individual choices, although another person might have a subjective value and say, well, I disagree with that, I don't like that, I wouldn't do that if I were you. Well, that's different. We all value things. This is what STV, the subjective theory of value, is always stating. It's everlasting, that only the individual can truly decide what is best or what increases the marginal utility the most in each specific scenario or case point, right? So I think it's important to realize before you just jump into politics, which when we talk about political philosophy, obviously there's two worlds there too, because politics is just a realm of violence, and usually aggressive violence, not just offensive violence, but aggressive violence on peaceful people. Whereas philosophical goes much deeper. It looks into the psyche. It looks into, once again, I think human nature on another level. So I think it's important for us to realize that before you even understand or go into politics and try to mandate whatever you see as best for other people, is to understand that they are already trying to search out what they feel is best for them, and every time you step in, it only makes them worse off on the overall. Who wants to go next? Hello?
Well, I guess I'll go if no one's jumping up. Yeah, I think it's important to understand human nature before having any philosophy, so you understand what the consequences are for your ideas, right? I mean, I think many people sort of have an idea of what they want the world to look like and ignore the fact that how other people are going to behave, right? The world doesn't go according to what you would like it to go according to. People aren't going to just act the way you want them to. And people aren't even going to just follow the plans. That's one of the reasons that central planning doesn't work. Not only because people lack perfect information, but because you can't just make everyone follow your plans the way you want them to. And it's very important to understand human nature, to understand what incentives work. How do you get people to act a certain way, and if that's even possible. You can't just say this is what I want the world to look like and ignore how people in the world act, right?
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah,
You,
Dana.
You can
Yeah,
always say that this is how I want my world to be like me.
well, I think it's you got to figure. It's kind of like in a capitalist mindset is you got to figure out what people want and then provide them with that. If you obviously in a free society, the best plans, the best ideas, people are gonna gradually navigate to. But yeah, like Daniel said, everyone's got their own ideas, and yeah, it's tough. I don't know. It's kind of a tough issue for me to.
Well, I think one thing to realize is, human action. This always comes back to praxeology, right? I mean, this is what it seems to me is praxeology. And then I think that leads into the deontological discussion, because then you can start talking about norms and ethics and all the good stuff that spawn off of that. If you don't understand that and you're just going into politics thinking everybody's going to fall in line with whatever the mandate says, whether it's just or unjust, then really you're going to make society worse off overall. And I think we can't stress that more. This needs to be heard. I think it's one of the most important topics. So I'm glad Rothschild brought it up. Anybody want to else add before we head out? I guess not.
I am good.
Thank you, everyone, for checking us out. As you guys know, I actually got a video coming out here in a little bit asking people if you'd like to interview with us or on my show. If you'd like to have a debate on my show, I could either moderate or you could debate me one-on-one. I have no issue with that either. So that's going to be out here in a little bit. But I thank everybody, guys, all three of you, for being on the show tonight. Thank you so much.
You're more than welcome.
All right. Bye, guys.